problem because there are a lot of labor is very expensive. But in India, where labor is very cheap, we should take this recycling fully, take this as a resource. And in every city, so much of garbage. That means so much of raw material is available for new things to be made. And we believe that since we cannot stop industrialization, we must make an attempt at creating this resource. So I feel for me, green fashion is more to do with the existing system that is in place. So I feel that and this whole recycling is growing. We call it now upcycling, because traditionally India used to recycle. Like we had the kabadi walas coming right at our doorsteps and we would sell our waste. So recycling has also always happened. But what we are trying to do is upcycle the waste by making beautiful products with good designers and good techniques, and making it into fashion. We are making it more expensive. This is what we call as upcycling. So there is a lot of difference between recycling and upcycling. Recycling, you melt and you downgrade the material. By upcycling, you make it, you just break all the boundaries. And when I started with developing the techniques, I was very scared. Being an Indian, working with waste, I didn't know whether I would be able to sell my products or not. So I was trying to, in a way, hide it. And being an artist, I was able to achieve. But in West, when I went to market my products, I was very happy. I got so much attention there. And then I felt much more bolder and braver. So today my designs prominently display the fact that they are recyclable.
Could you maybe describe briefly how you get your material from the streets of Delhi?
Yes, like any other city of India or Asia, there is a lot of waste lying on the roads. So the rag pickers go and pick up this waste, and largely we get a lot of packaging material. It can be from plastic bags to, like different kinds of plastic. Even our milk is packed in pouches. So they pick up the plastic and we segregate it and wash it thoroughly, sterilize it. Then we have developed a technique to make it into a thicker fabric, and this fabric we use to make our products. But when we were working with plastic for a few years, the government decided to ban the thin plastic bags. So there was a lot of fear in the rag pickers. They thought suddenly, they had just learned a skill, and because of the ban, they wouldn't know what to do. There wouldn't be any more plastic. But we told them that the plastic lobby is a very powerful lobby. It will never disappear from India, because even in the West, plastic has not disappeared. So the government had just made it thicker to the advantage of the plastic industry, because the thicker the plastic bag, the more production the plastic industry do. But that was the time it made me think that these people are so fearful. So why shouldn't we get into other materials? So the next thing, we saw lots of tire tubes lying, most of these kabadiwalas on their rooftops to keep the cardboard and flex material down. They put a lot of tires on their rooftops. So we said, why not just pick it out and let's wash it. And then we made some products out of that. So this was just for me a confidence building measure for these rag pickers. That don't worry, there'll always be waste, because we are going to live in industrialized cities more and more. And so obviously there's going to be more waste. So this is how I have grown in the project.
That's great, actually. So you pick up the waste and you make clothes out of it. Philipp Werhan, you have your shop in Berlin, and people bring their used clothes to your place, and you create something new out of it. How is this working, and how do you work? Like when somebody's bringing you a piece, how can we understand your work?
Well, it depends. Like some people just, everybody like in Germany actually has plenty of clothes, too many clothes, and they like to consume, so they like to buy new stuff. So a lot of customers just bring me their clothes because they understand that just throw them in the garbage, or just give them for donation for Africa and stuff. It's not like a positive cycle, and so they decide to bring me the stuff, and then I create on the mannequin unique pieces. But even more, I wanted to get like conscious with my customers that they believe more in the story, what happened with the clothes, what they were wearing. Because you do have connections with like memories, stories, moments, and even if you don't wear the gown anymore, the stories are still there. So I want them that they give me their clothes and they see my shop as a showroom, and then I can do on measurements for them, then the pieces, and they buy them back. So they keep the stories, they keep on wearing them, but in a new outfit. And yeah, that's the way I work.
And next to this, you're also using organic cotton and conscious materials. Do you, when you use accessories like zippers and things like that, do you also watch out how this is produced? Is there any agenda you have when you buy materials, or buttons, for example?
I don't buy buttons, I don't buy zippers. I've got a second label, Kollateralschaden, which is out of like 50% of organic, GOTS certificate like fabrics, and the rest is also kind of synthetic fabric, which is I'm also thinking about. That could be a solution also for the future, because it's recyclable. You can do like bottles after that, and it's a circle. But no, I don't use buttons. I don't use zippers. It's just a question of design of my taste. So I created like my own pattern out of my other label, where I turn old clothes into new clothes, and then I transferred that and made a pattern out of that. And now I create that new label out of it.
Okay, so we have raw materials, we have organic cotton, we have plastic waste which is on the street, and we have the old clothes that people bring to you, and you're working with it. This is three possibilities of doing something green. We can say green fashion, doing something sustainable actually. Philip was speaking about technology already, and I would like to ask Dr. Shiva, who is around in the world for Dye Star, doing audits also in dye houses, if it be Pakistan or Turkey or India, Germany. You have quite a good overview of the scene, what is happening also in textiles. So not specifically about dyes, but I would like to ask you, what technologies are there in fibers, in yarns, materials can be made out of, which you would say they are sustainable, maybe they are the future?
In one sentence, probably here, when it comes to technology and chemicals and chemistries, ignorance is bliss. If you don't know, it is safe. The more you know, the more you are confused. Today, I think day before yesterday, Lenzing has just launched a new range of fibers, which is Promodal, and they are giving even powder. Now,
Lenzing is an Austrian company.
Lenzing is an Austrian company, and they talk about sustainable fiber for the simple reason that it uses only 14,000 liters of water for producing the yarn, when it compares to 45,000 liters of water for cotton. So when we see cotton as a sustainable fiber, I think we have to look at the entire life cycle analysis, how much, where it is grown, how much water is going into the soil, how much water we are consuming to produce production, and how much water we are using, and the entire this thing. 50% of our water used is while we are wearing it. Every day we wash, 45 liters per kg is what we use for water. So we have to understand how much, if we are wearing, how are we going to look at the entire cycle. Basically, it's not just using it and then throwing it off. So today there are products available, yarns available, fibers available, which are more greener in the sense they are produced in marshlands. They are not produced in the agrarian lands. They are cut, and again the growth rate is very fast. So the amount of water which is used for producing that yarn, or even the processing the yarn, is very less. The dyeing cycles and the dyeing technologies are very safe. Very safe in the sense, one example if I can give, polypropylene dyeing, not possible below 130 degrees centigrade. Above 130 centigrade only is possible. Polyester 130 degrees centigrade. 90 degrees to 70 degrees is what cotton is. So now we are talking about modal, which is now coming at below 90 degrees. So the the steam, the cost of the energy, the water consumption, all these put together will come to, we talk about the greener fiber, greener technology.
But like it's very technical. No, you can hear this. Like it's very hard to understand. I guess what is modal actually? Like you know, cotton is grown. We know it is picked. Then you make a yarn out of it. Silk. There's a cocoon. You spin it. You make a thread out of it. What is modal made out of? How do you make it?
It is a regenerated. It is a basically like it's a viscose. Viscose, modal. Then there is Excel. There is Tencel. All these are brand names coming out of cellulose. What we do is cellulose is we solubilize it and then we redraw the fiber. So the techniques of solubilization is what we have to normally understand. So the solubilization we reuse it. So that is usually a recycled fiber from the cellulose.